straddling the line between fall and winter, plenty and positive, life and death. Halloween is a time of celebration and superstition. It's thought to have originated with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, when people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off Roman ghosts. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as a time to honor all saints and martyrs. The holiday, All Saints' Day, incorporated some of the traditions of Samhain. The evening before was known as All Hallows Eve and later Halloween. Over time, Halloween evolved into a secular, community-based event characterized by child-friendly activities such as trick-or-treating. In a number of countries around the world, as the days grow shorter and the nights get colder, people continue to ash in the winter season with gatherings, costumes and sweet treats. Ancient origins of Halloween. Halloween's origins date back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. The Celts, who lived 2,000 years ago in the area that is now Ireland, the United Kingdom, and northern France, celebrated the New Year. On November 1st. This day marked the end of summer and the harvest and the beginning of the dark, cold winter, a time of year that was often associated with human death. Celts believed that on the night before the New Year, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. On the night of October 31st, they celebrated Samhain, when it was believed that the ghost of the dead returned to earth. In addition to causing trouble and damaging crops, Celts saw that the presence of the otherworldly spirits made it easy for the druids or Celtic priests to make predictions about the future. For people interdependent on the volatile natural world, these prophecies were an important source of comfort and direction during the long 3 AD, the Roman Empire had conquered the majority of Celtic territory. In the course of the 400 years that they ruled the Celtic lands, two festivals of Roman origin were combined with the traditional Celtic celebration of Samhain. The first was Feralia, a day in late October when the Romans traditionally commemorated the passing of the dead. The second was a day to honor Pomona, the Roman goddess of fruit and trees. The symbol of Pomona is the apple, and the incorporation of this celebration into Samhain probably explains the tradition of popping for apples that is practices today on Halloween. On May 30, 609 AD, Pope Boniface III dedicated the Pantheon in Rome in honor of all Christian mages, and the Catholic fest of All Mages' Day was established in the Western Church. Pope Gregory III later expanded the festival to include All Saints as well as Mages, and moved the observance from May 13 to November 1st. By the 9th century, the influence of Christianity had spread into Celtic lands, for it gradually blended with and supplanted the old Celtic rites. In 1000 AD, the Church would make November 2nd All Souls Day, a day to honor the dead. It's widely believed today that the Church was attempting to replace the Celtic festival of the dead with a related but church-sanctioned holiday. All Souls Day was celebrated similarly to Samhain, with big bonfires, parades, and dressing up in costumes as saints, angels, and devils. The All Saints' Day celebration was also called All Hallows or All Hallows, and the night before it, the traditional night of Samhain in the Celtic religion, began to be called All Hallows Eve and eventually Halloween. Halloween comes to America festivals also featured the telling of ghost stories and mischief-making of all kinds. By the middle of the 19th century, annual autumn festivities were common, but Halloween was not yet celebrated everywhere in the country. In the second half of the 19th century, America was flooded with new immigrants. These new immigrants, especially the millions of Irish fleeing islands potato famine of 1846, helped to popularize the celebration of Halloween nationally. Taken from Irish and English traditions, Americans began to dress up in costumes and go house to house, asking for food or money, a practice they eventually became today's trick-or-treat tradition. Young women believed that on Halloween they could divine the name of the parents of their future husband by doing tricks with young apple, orange or mirrors. In the late 1800s, there was a move in America to mold Halloween into a holiday more about community and neighborly get-togethers than about ghost pranks and witchcraft. At the turn of the century, Halloween parties for both children and adults became the most common way to celebrate the day. Parties focused on games, foods of the season, and festival costumes. Parents were encouraged by newspapers and community leaders to take anything frightening or grotesque out of Halloween celebrations. Because of these efforts, Halloween lost most of its superstitious and religious origins by the beginning of the 20th century. By the 1920s and 1930s, Halloween had become a secular but community-centered holiday with parades and town-wide parties as a fixed entertainment. Despite the best effort of many schools and communities, vandalism began to plague Halloween celebration in many communities during this time. By the 1950s, town leaders had successfully limited vandalism and Halloween had evolved into a holiday directed mainly at the young. Due to the high numbers of young children during the 50s baby boom, parties moved from town civic centers into the classroom or home, where they could be more easily accommodated. the neighborhood children with small treats. A new American tradition was born, and it has continued to grow. Today, Americans spend an estimated $6 billion annually on Halloween, making it the country's second largest commercial holiday. Today's Halloween tradition, the American Halloween tradition of trick-or-treating, probably dates back to the early All Souls Day parades in England. During the festivals, poor citizens would beg for food, and families would give them pastries called soul cakes in return for the promise to pray for the families dead relatives. The distribution of soul cakes was encouraged by the church as a way to replace the ancient practice of leaving food and wine for roaming spirits. The practice, which was referred to as going as souling, was eventually taken up by children who would visit the house in the neighborhood and be given ale. Food and money. The tradition of dressing in costume for Halloween has both European and Celtic roots. Hundreds of years ago, winter was an uncertain and frightening time. Food supplies often ran low, and for the many people afraid of the dark, the short days of winter were full of constant worry. On Halloween, when it was believed that ghosts came back to the as reward, people thought that they would encounter ghosts if they left their homes. To avoid being recognized by these ghosts, people would wear masks when they left their homes after dark so that the ghost would mistake them for fellow spirits. On Halloween, to keep ghosts away from their houses, people would place balls of food outside their homes to appease the ghost and